नमो नमः. ईशोपनिषदि मंत्रषट्कं स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम मंत्रः नवमः मंत्रः अंधन्तमः and going up to चतुर्दशः मंत्रः संभूतिं च विनाशं च. Study by S.L. Abhyankar. The logic in taking up study of as many as 6 mantraha together is that in these 6 mantraha there are two triplets which are fairly similar. One will be convinced by putting the two triplets side by side, reading them side by side. Let me read them. अंधन्तमः प्रविशन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यौ विद्यायां रताः. अंधन्तमः प्रविशन्ति ये सम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यौ सम्भूत्यां रताः. अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे. अन्यदेवाहुः सम्भवादन्यदाहुरसम्भवात् इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचचक्षिरे. विद्याञ्चाविद्याञ्च यस्तद्वेदोभयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते. सम्भूतिञ्च विनाशञ्च यस्तद्वेदोभयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते. पदच्छेदः. अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये अविद्याम् उपासते ततः भूयः इव ते तमः ये उ विद्यायां रताः. अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये असंभूतिम् उपासते ततः भूयः इव ते तमः ये उ संभूत्यां रताः. अन्यत् एव आहुः विद्यया अन्यत् आहुः अविद्यया इति शुश्रुम धीराणां ये नः तत् विचचक्षिरे. अन्यत् एव आहुः संभवात् अन्यत् आहुः असंभवात् इति शुश्रुम धीराणां ये नः तत् विचचक्षिरे. विद्यां च अविद्यां च यः तत् वेद उभयं सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यया अमृतम् अश्नुते. सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यः तत् वेद उभयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा सम्भूत्या अमृतम् अश्नुते. The sentences are fairly straightforward. Hence, I may skip Vakyamshashaha Vishleshanam. For Padabhyasaha also, there are only a few words which merit word-by-word study. But maybe it would not be wrong to go straight away to syntaxes and meanings, Anvayarthaha, which will clarify those words also. Ye avidyam upasate te andham tamaha pravishanti. Those who pursue unwise knowledge, avidyam, meet blinding darkness. Ye vidyayamrataha teu tataha bhuyaha iva tamaha pravishanti. Those who pursue only knowledge and stay engrossed in it, they meet even more blinding darkness. Correspondingly, andham tamah pravishanti ye asambhutim upasate. Those who pursue the unmanifest meet blinding darkness. Tatah bhuyah ivate tamaha ye u sambhutyam rataha. Those who pursue and stay engrossed in idolatry, sambhutyam, they meet even more blinding darkness. We may add, they may meet. Instead of being a very affirmative, they meet. They may meet. Kechana vidyaya anyateva ahuhu. Those with knowledge said one thing. Kechana avidyaya anyateva ahuhu. Those with unwise knowledge said something else. Iti vayam dhiranam shushruma ye nahatat vichachakshire. That is what we learned from the sages, who explained it all to us. Kechana sambhavat anyat eva ahu. Those apropos idolatry said one thing. Kechana asambhavat anyat eva ahu. Those apropos improbability said something else. Iti vayam धीराणाम शुश्रुम ये नहातत vichachakshire. That is what we learned from the sages who explained it all to us. यह तत् उभयं सह विद्यां च अविद्यां च वेद. He who knows both knowledge and unwise knowledge. सः अविद्यया मृत्युं तीर्त्वा विद्यया अमृतम् अश्नुते. He, by unwise knowledge, transcends death and attains immortality by wise knowledge. यह तत् उभयं सह संभूतिं च विनाशं च वेद. He who knows both manifestation and non-manifestation. सः विनाशेन मृत्युं तीर्त्वा संभूत्या अमृतम् अश्नुते. He, by knowledge of destruction, non-manifestation, transcends death and attains immortality by knowledge of manifestation. No, the key words in mantraha 9 to 11 are vidya and avidya. I have translated them as knowledge and unwise knowledge respectively. Also, the key words in mantraha 12 to 14 are asambhutihi, asambhavaha, vinashaha, and then correspondingly sambhutihi, sambhavaha. I have translated them as asambhutihi, unmanifest, asambhavaha, improbability, vinashaha, destruction, non-manifestation, sambhutihi, sambhavaha, manifestation, idolatry. All the statements in these 6 mantraha sound to be very definitive and emphatic. They also seem to encompass a much wider spectrum than the literal meanings of the words, especially of the key words. This prompts me to straightaway jot down swadhyaya, notes of self-study. 1. Ye avidyam upasate te andham tamah pravishanti. Those who pursue unwise knowledge meet blinding darkness. This is understandable because those who pursue unwise knowledge have chosen a wrong path. I think the thought is better clarified by yaha tat ubhayam sah vidyam cha avidyam cha veda. He who knows both knowledge and unwise knowledge. Being ignorant of avidya, unwise knowledge, is not advisable. What is not advisable is its upasana. Being knowledgeable of avidya, unwise knowledge, is helpful. That avidyaya mrityum tarati. By unwise knowledge, one can transcend death. Killing anybody is upasana of avidya. But knowing that killing would invite death penalty is essential. Not knowing of death penalty is dangerous. One cannot say, I killed him because I did not know that by killing I would suffer death penalty. Ignorance may be a bliss, not always. Upon knowing that killing would invite death penalty, one would save oneself from indulging in inappropriate acts. Avidyaya mrityum tarati. Note, inappropriate act brings disgrace, which is no less than mrityu. Knowledge of what is inappropriate is knowledge of avidya. That knowledge is essential. Not knowing avidya and staying engrossed in vidya is tantamount to half knowledge. The proverbial wisdom is half knowledge is dangerous. In Ayurveda, the prescription contains pathyam, prescription, contains both do's, vidya, and don'ts, avidya. By following both, mrityum tirtva amritam ashnute. Meaning of amritam ashnute as attains immortality or gets the elixir is too much of a literal translation. It does not mean that one's life, this life, would not end. Jatasya dhruva mrityuh. This is in Gita 2-27. Everyone born will die. Will die. Meaning of Amrutam Ashnute is that one would not have to be reborn and die again. So, Amrutam Ashnute means moksha, emancipation, liberation from the cycles of births and deaths. In Gita, there are various, about 70 odd phrases for the same meaning. See, Anuttamam gatim masthitaha bhavati, 7-18. Apunaravruttim gacchati, amrutatvaye kalpate, amrutam ashnute, avikampen yogene yujyate, avyayam padam gachanti, aham ishtah syam, aham tva sarvapapebhyo mokshayishyami. कर्मबंधम प्रहास्यसि, कर्म भी न बध्यते, कृतकृत्यः स्यात्, निर्वाण परमां शांतिम अधिगच्छति, निर्वेदम गंतासि, परम पुरुषम उपैति, परम पुरुषम याति, परम यान्ति, परम स्थानम उपैति, परमां गतिम याति, परमां सिद्धिम अधिगच्छति, परम आपनोति, पराम गतिम याति, पराम गतिम यान्ति, पराम शांतिम अधिगच्छति, पराम सिद्धिम गताः, पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते, बंधात् प्रमुच्यते, ब्रह्म अधिगच्छति, ब्रह्मभूतं सुखम उपैति, ब्रह्मभूयाय कल्पते, ब्रह्म संपद्यते, ब्रह्मणि स्थितः भवति, ब्रह्मणि स्थिताः भवन्ति, ब्रह्म निर्वाणम अधिगच्छति, ब्रह्म निर्वाणम मृच्छति, ब्रह्म निर्वाणम लभन्ते, ब्रह्म निर्वाणम वर्तते, ब्रह्मयोग युक्तात्मा अक्षयम सुखम अश्नुते, ब्रह्मैव गंतव्यम, भूयः न अभिजायते, भूयः न निवर्तन्ति, मद्भावम आगताः, मद्भावम याति, मद्भावाय उपपद्यते, मयि निवसिष्यसि, मयि वर्तते, माम उपयान्ति, माम उपैष्यसि, मामेति, मामेव एष्यति, मामेव एष्यसि, माम प्रपद्यते, माम प्रपद्यन्ते, माम प्राप्नुवन्ति, माम यान्ति, माम विशते, मृत्युम अतितरन्ति, न प्रणश्यति, ये युक्ततमः, मे युक्ततमः, मे युक्ततमाः, शांतिम रुच्छति, शाश्वतं पदम आपनोति, शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्स्यसि, सदा मुक्तः, सिद्धिम अवाप्स्यसि, सिद्धिम विन्दति. All these are synonymous. Avidya also means unlearning. Avidyaya mrityum tarati can be interpreted to mean by unlearning wrong concepts, if any learned, one will be saved of the erroneous behavior due to the wrong concepts. Erroneous behavior is mrityu. The word shushruma in iti shushruma dhiranam yenastad vichachakshire seems to hint to such advice in the Vedas, because Vedas are called as Shruti. Accordingly, dhiraha refers to Vedic rishis. So shushruma, it has the common verb shru, shru shrunoti, and from shru, shruti, Vedas. So shushruma, dhiranam shushruma, we learnt it from the Vedic rishis. So accordingly, dhiraha refers to Vedic rishis. This word dhiraha has an interesting etymology. See, in Shabdakalpadrumaha, dhiraha, dhiyam irayati iti, ir plus an, yadva dhiyam rati iti, ra plus kaha, dhaiyanvitaha, swairaha, panditaha. Dhiraha is one who dhiyam irayati, excites the intellect, or dhiyam rati, pleases the intellect. I translated the word vichachakshire as explained. By grammar, vichachakshire is lit lakaraha, prathama purushaha bahuvachanam of vichaksha. No, chaksha, chakshin. Vyaktayam vachi. To articulate, to speak clearly. अदादिः द्वितीयगणीयः आत्मनेपदी सकर्मकः सेट. In Aptay's dictionary, vichakshana, adjective, clear-sighted, far-seeing, circumspect, wise, clever, learned, expert, skillful, able, धीरा or vichakshana. There are these two statements. Kechana vidyaya anyateva ahu. Those with knowledge said one thing. Kechana avidyaya anyateva ahu. Those with unwise knowledge said something else. These statements can be taken to be referring to different schools of thought. One needs to settle which thought is pramanam, conforms to the norm. There are three norms, pramanani, recognized and accepted. One, pratyaksha, eyewitness, what can be demonstrated. Anumana, what stands to logical deduction. And agama, stated in the Vedas. So, iti shushruma dhiranam yenastad vichachakshire is as good as vedavakyam pramanam. So, yaha tat ubhayam sah vidyam cha avidyam cha veda, he who knows both knowledge and unwise knowledge seems to be the vedavakyam pramanam. Also because avidyaya mrutyam tirtva vidyaya amrutam ashnute. He, by unwise knowledge, transcends death and attains immortality by wise knowledge. Is a thought endorsed in the Vedas. We should take it. I am not able to quote exactly in which place in the Veda this has been quoted. But maybe some other commentators would have detailed that. Interestingly, all these Swadhyaya notes from 1 to 5 would apply to mantraha. They are with reference to mantraha 9 to 11, but they apply to mantraha 12 to 14 by substituting sambhutihi sambhava in place of vidya and asambhutihi asambhava and vinasha in place of avidya. I have translated asambhutihi, unmanifest, asambhava, improbability, vinasha, destruction, non-manifestation, and sambhutihi sambhava, manifestation, idolatry. How good are these translations? Rather, how good are the statements andham tamah pravishanti ye asambhutim upasati. Those who pursue the unmanifest meet blinding darkness. Tataha bhuyaha ivate tamaha yev sambhutyam rataha. Those who pursue and stay engrossed in idolatry, they meet even more blinding darkness. Kechana sambhavat anyat eva ahu. Those apropos idolatry said one thing. Kechana asambhavat anyat eva ahu. Those apropos improbability said something else. Iti vayam dhiranam shushruma ye nahatat vichachakshire. That is what we learned from the sages who explained it all to us. Yahatat ubhayam sah sambhutim cha vinasham cha veda. He who knows both manifestation and non-manifestation. Saha vinashena mrityum tirtva sambhutya amrutam ashnute. He, by knowledge of destruction, non-manifestation, transcends death and attains immortality by knowledge of manifestation. The statement ye asambhutim upasate, those who pursue the unmanifest, brings to mind the Muslim practice. Even the Christians criticized idol worship of Hinduism, though there is no church without a statue of Christ or Mother Mary. Buddhism is also said to be not recognizing godhood. Ironically, Buddhists made Buddha himself as Bhagavan Buddha. And by passage of time, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar is in no way less than Bhagavan for the Neo-Buddhists. In Jain temples, there are idols of Tirthankara. In Gurudwara of Sikhs, they worship the sacred book Granth Sahib as the Guru, which is basically a Sanskrit word meaning the precept. There are no idols, Granth Sahib. But Granth Sahib itself recognizes the Hindu gods Rama and Krishna. May I summarize that idol worship is helpful, especially in the initial stages of spiritual pursuit. There is no need to criticize one practice against another. The statement, iti vayam dhiranam shushruma ye naha tad vichachakshire, that is what we learned from the sages who explained it all to us, is interesting on the count that it seems to advocate conciliation and not contest or controversy between kechana sambhavat anyateva ahu, those apropos idolatry said one thing, kechana asambhavat anyateva ahu, those apropos improbability said something else. The statement in Mantra 12, ye sambhutyamrataha tevu tataha bhuyaha iva andham tamaha pravishanti, suggests that to stay engrossed in idol worship would lead to even more blinding darkness. By spiritual pursuit, one should rise. One should evolve to realize the one and only Almighty, the Supreme, the Tat in Ye Naha Tat Vichachakshire in Mantra 13. It is that Tat which Dhiraha, the sages, the Vedic Rishis, Vichachakshire explain. As is well known, Agni Devata is one major deity in Vedas. Is it an idol? No. Yet it is a Devata, a deity. In India, there have been and there are a number of cult figures. And there are large number of followers of the cult figures, raising cults, sampradaya. For example, in Ramakrishna Mission, the cult figure is Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. In Hare Krishna movement, Swami Srila Prabhupada is the cult figure. In Aurobindo Institutes, Aurobindo and the mother are the cult figures. In Osho habitats, Osho is the cult figure, who changed his titles from Acharya Rajanish to Bhagwan Rajanish to Osho. One may not criticize that it is wrong to become a member of a cult. What the Mantra 12, ye sambhutyamrataha, cautions, what the Mantra cautions is, teu tataha bhuyaha eva andham tamaha pravishanti. Unintelligent, blind following will lead to blinding darkness. Right? In Mantra 14, there is the word vinasha, destruction, non-manifestation, in place of asambhuti, unmanifest, in Mantra 12, and asambhava, improbability, in Mantra 13. Are these words, vinasha, destruction, non-manifestation, asambhuti, unmanifest, and asambhava, improbability, synonymous? Are they appropriate substitutes? Are my respective translations also correct? The words asambhutihi and asambhava are antonyms of sambhutihi and sambhava. These words sambhutihi and sambhava are from sambhu, prathamaganiyaha prasmapati, to arise, to be born or produced, to spring up. Dharma samsthapana arthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. This is in Bhagavad Gita 4-8. Sambhu also means to be, to become, to exist, to happen, to occur, to take place, to be possible, to be adequate for, to be competent for, to meet, to be united or joined with, to be consistent, to be capable of existing in, to be contained in, to attain to partake of. So my translations of asambhuti, unmanifest, asambhava, improbability, sambhuti, sambhava, manifestation, idolatry, are justifiable, and hence okay. Vinasha, destruction, non-manifestation is also okay. The point is to understand the substitutions. The best justification of the substitutions is avyaktaadini bhutani vyaktamadhyani bharata avyakta nidhana anyeva tatraka paridevana. This is from Gita 2-28. Becoming avyakta, merging into the non-manifest, is nidhanam, death, vinasha, destruction, non-manifestation. Vinashena mrityum tirtva endorses that, right? Or does vinasha really lead to transcending death? Actually, does vinasha mean destruction of the body? Or does vinasha really advocate vinasha of the ego, ahankara? I am very much inclined to the sublime thought that transcending death, the state mrityum tirtva, is possible by vinasha of the ego. Yes, mrityum tirtva is a state, not any physical transcending of death. Let us acknowledge and accept that our most anxious anguish, our worst fear, is the fear of death. Being relieved of the fear of death is acquiring the state mrityum tirtva. That is how and that is why mrityum tirtva is a state, not any physical transcending of death. One must always bear in mind that the scriptures, especially the mantraha, are cryptic. By corollary, in Sambhutya Amrutam Ashnute, Sambhutya is to be interpreted as by self-realization. Sambhutihi, Sambhavaha, manifestation, is inclusive of self-realization. Amrutam Ashnute. Right? Shubhamastu.